This is the Big Island, Channel 6, Hawaii at its best.
Keoho's Weekly Highlights is brought to you by the Crown Lands of Keoho, the Keoho Shopping Village, Keoho Kona Realty, and the Keoho Beach Hotel. Be sure to watch for weekly highlights, 6:30 and 7:30 p.m., 7 nights a week, here on Channel 6.
Aloha, good evening everyone. Nice having you here on Keoho's Weekly Highlights. I'm Lyman Medeiros. Coming up in this half hour, we'll tell you about the American Lung Association and its 1991 Super Kid, Nicholas Berry. We'll continue our series on Kona's historical churches, and we have part 2 of our Ironman triathlete profiles. Also tonight, more Keoho book cover lucky numbers, so stick around. We'll be right back with tonight's edition of Keoho's Weekly Highlights.
Get away for the day at beautiful Keoho Shopping Village with over 40 stores to choose from, like these.
Showcase Gallery for unusual gifts and distinctive fine art and jewelry. Keoho Village Travel. We do the world for you. Keoho Shopping Village, so much to see and do.
In a very magical corner of the world, there is a place that still cherishes the good life. A place where people smile and live in an environment of tropically landscaped harmony and panoramic views. This is Keoho. Keoho Kona Realty represents properties in Keoho's newest project, Kaulana, and at Keoho Estates and the Villas. We also offer resale listings at Ultimate Resort Condominiums. You set the goal of the good life. You've achieved the goal of the good life. Now enjoy and live the good life of Keoho.
When Hawaii's royalty would relax and play, they selected Keoho as the preferred place to live and remain. This unique area, the birthplace of King Kamehameha III, is blessed with year-round perfect weather, calm tropical waters, and bountiful ocean harvests, and therefore was honored as the crowned lands of Keoho. Now everyone can inherit this regal lineage of Keoho with its hotels and condominium choices, championship golf course, world-class tennis, and modern shopping complex. Explore the crowned lands of Keoho and discover how ultimate life can be.
Hi, and welcome back to our show. Later in tonight's program, I'll be reading out the final series of our Keoho book cover lucky numbers. If you haven't yet participated, stop into the Keoho Shopping Village and pick up a book cover absolutely free of charge. On it could be your lucky winning number. Again, later in tonight's show, I'll be reading out those numbers. But first up tonight, let's meet our super kid.
Super Kids is an event sponsored by the American Lung Association designed to promote good health for our keikis. Each January, youngsters come together for a day of fun and exercise, and every year, one kid is chosen as Super Kid of the Year. For 1991, it's Nicholas Berry, a third grader at Konawaina. Nicholas has excelled in sports and raised the most funds for the American Lung Association, which earned him that title. But there's more to his story. What makes this kid super is that Nicholas is asthmatic. His mother first noticed his condition at the age of 3 when Nicholas started showing symptoms.
Constant colds, ear infections, and we thought it was just, common cold. And then the wheezing bronchitis set in, and they found out he was asthmatic.
So Maura enrolled him in a class called Kokua na Keiki, Helping the Children, sponsored by the American Lung Association.
The kids come 8 times and they go to class and they learn all about what their asthma is, what to do about it, which is drink a lot of warm water, which relaxes them, also thins out the mucus that accumulates in the lungs. They learn to do diaphragmatic breathing using their stomach and their diaphragm muscle. They learn relaxation because asthma is so much tension and stress involved. When you can't breathe, you know how you would feel. And we do this all in a real fun, using lots of visuals and songs and games and anything we can think of to make it fun.
And as Nicholas will tell you, having an asthma attack can be frightening.
It's kind of scary because you can't breathe and you only get half of a breath and can't get worried a lot.
Although it's not proven, doctors believe asthma has the tendency to be hereditary, and most are caused by an allergic reaction.
Asthma is almost like an allergic reaction, only it's an allergic reaction in your lungs. There are three things that happen when you have an asthma episode, and the mucus builds up inside the lungs, so it kind of plugs up the airways, and the actual lining of the airways swell up so that there's less room for the air to move in and out. And there's muscles surrounding each little air tube, and they clamp down. So when all those three things happen, of course, there's not room for the air to go in and out anymore.
And in the most extreme cases, asthma can be fatal.
Actually, we just had an asthma death 2 weeks ago. In Kona, people can die from asthma. And I hesitate every time I tell parents that it is possible. And the children have that fear. I mean, when you can't breathe, it's always in the back of your mind that, maybe you won't be able to. But most of those deaths that we do have can be prevented by early intervention.
So believe it or not, one way to help yourself is through exercise.
Swimming is good for an asthmatic. It's what they claim is the air 6 inches above the water is constant with your body temperature. I try not to use asthma as a handicap. I try to teach them that they can have a sport they can work at and how to deal with the asthma. If they get tired, how not to jump out and run to their medication, how to do other steps, but help them realize that they can be normal, they are normal, and swim like other kids do. It's just they have to be more aware of their body and what their feelings are.
If they don't do any exercise, it just makes they don't have as good resistance. So many times mothers limit their children too. They're afraid they're going to go have an asthma attack if they exercise, so they limit their kids. So we teach the parents, let them try it, see how they do, and if they have a problem, then work it out. Well, Nicholas, for example, he's a very athletic child. He has pretty severe asthma, but they've overcome that problem.
And having this condition hasn't slowed him down one bit. From swimming to soccer to softball, Nicholas is a very active 9-year-old.
Yeah, I think he wants to be stronger, so he'll try harder, knowing that even though he has this condition, I guess he wants to prove that he can do it is his main point. I think by being active, helps.
Once you learn to control it, it's a great feeling. Yeah. And we try to give them that self-confidence to go on and do something that they haven't done before. Because they know if they can take care of the wheezing, that they can manage it themselves. They'll try new things.
Registrations are now being accepted for the next session of Kokua na Keiki. If you have an asthmatic condition and are between the ages of 5 and 14, enroll now. It's a great start to a healthier and productive life. And who knows, maybe you could be the next super kid.
Kakuna keiki, kakuna keiki, teach me how to breathe, not to wheeze. First we drink warm water, then we belly breathe, and relax, and relax. Wait 10 minutes, take our medicine, on my L, now I'm smart. All right.
When you're short of help, does your business run like this? Then you need Dunhill Temporary Systems personnel to keep it running like this. Just one call to Dunhill puts skilled, professional people on your workplace team fast. Like clerical, secretarial, word processing, or light industrial. Dozens of Big Island companies know Dunhill is the name to remember for quality temporary help and personalized service. Dunhill has 3 conveniently located offices in Hilo, Kona, and Waimea. So keep your business moving. Call Dunhill today.
We welcome you to the Keoho Beach Hotel. Our ocean terrace is a delightful place to dine. Lanai tables overlook the fascinating tide pools. Enjoy Chinese delicacies and a dim sum table every Monday through Thursday from 5 to 9 p.m. Come and relax. Your evenings with us are always memorable. E komo mai, We welcome you to the Keoho Beach Hotel, the true spirit of aloha.
Get away for the day at beautiful Keoho Shopping Village with over 40 stores to choose from, like these.
Rocky's Pizza and Deli. You've tried the rest, now try the best. KT's. Discover the best selection of creative t-shirts on the island. Keoho Shopping Village, so much to see and do.
Get ready for the Kona Community Carnival at the Old Kona Airport, sponsored by the Kona Pop Warner Association. Enjoy the E.K. Fernandez Midway, featuring the new High Flyer ride and scooter bumper cars. There will be free entertainment by Kapena, Mana'o Company, Ho'aikani, and Simplicity. Sunday is Fun Factory Day with free admission to the first 1,000 people and discount rides all day. That's the Kona Community Carnival, September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Don't miss it.
Kehuliau Ana o Hawaii, recalling Hawaii's past. In this segment, we will look at the life of missionary Reverend A.S. Baker. The Protestant missionary work begun by the pioneers in 1820 continued in Kona throughout the 1800s, and at the turn of the century there arrived a New England missionary who would leave an important mark on the district. Albert Sherburne Baker, known as Bert to family and friends, arrived in Kona in 1904, prepared to spend his life serving God as a Protestant missionary. He stayed on the Big Island for 15 years and was responsible for the construction of several Mauka churches throughout the district. The Kona that Reverend Baker and his mother, Ruth Bangs Baker, found was very different than today. This was rural Kona long before the tourist hotels or modern amenities. There was no electricity. Transportation was by horseback, donkey, or carriage, and indoor plumbing was unheard of. The water supply came from large redwood water tanks fed by gutter from the roof. The telephone wasn't that bad. There was a central operator who knew everybody and everything. Reverend Baker came to Hawaii with an excellent education. His cultural background was that of puritanical New England, but he was well-traveled and had much wider experience than most ministerial graduates. The Kona area of 1904 was entirely agricultural. There were a few roads, but most access was by trail. Before the main road was built, most of the population lived closer to the shore, evidenced by the location of the early stone and mortar churches. Upon arrival at Kailua Bay, the Bakers were met by a carriage which took them up the slopes of Mauna Loa to the home of Miss Ella Paris. Miss Paris, the daughter of missionary J.D. Paris, operated the small boarding house in the area above Na Po'opo'o Road. Miss Paris provided for the Bakers until they could settle more permanently into the community. They eventually purchased land from Henry Greenwell across the road from the Kona Central Church, where they built their home. Central Kona Union Church was to be Reverend Baker's home church. Upon his arrival, he found it to have thick stone walls, a good bell, and lovely koa wood pews. Reverend Baker's parish ran from Pu'uanahulu, North Kona, about 30 miles to the south at Miloli'i, which at that time could only be reached by canoe or steamer boat. In true circuit rider fashion, Baker would load his sermon and Sunday school materials along with his Prince Albert coat into his saddlebags and head out before daylight, returning after dark and sometimes returning the next day. Baker was impressed by the varied racial backgrounds of those attending Central Kona Union Church. They included Chinese, Japanese, Portuguese, Puerto Rican, Hawaiian, English, and American. When Baker arrived, there were very few Christian Japanese in the district and no services in Japanese. A succession of evangelical Japanese ministers came through Kona, however, and in 1913, Baker noted that the church's Japanese congregation had grown steadily during his years as minister there. Between the years 1904 and 1919, Bert Baker directed the building of several Protestant churches in the Kona district. The first of these was Holualoa Chapel. Dedicated in 1906, the church held the services in Hawaiian, English, and Japanese. Helani Church at Kahalu'u had fallen into disrepair, and with Bert's help, the congregation built a new church in the Mauka area of Keauhou. This church can still be seen today on the old Mamalahoa Highway between Keauhou and Holualoa. The Bishop Estate gave land for a church at Makalavena, and a chapel was dedicated there. Baker wrote, "The chapel was neat and nicely painted, with a tiny bell in the small tower." Mauka churches were also built or rebuilt at Kealia, Honaunau, and Kaohe in South Kona. The majority of these churches in Baker's Parish were Hawaiian congregations and in general were served by Hawaiian ministers. These included churches at Kekaha, Honokohau, Pu'u'anahulu, Kiholo, and Kaupulehu in the northern end of the district. In 1919, the Bakers left Kona for Honolulu, apparently for personal reasons, where they served for the next 15 years. Many of the churches that they helped to build have served the Kona community well, and many still hold regular services. Ke Huliau Ana o Hawaii. Join us in the coming weeks as we continue to recall Hawaii's past.
Hello, my name is Jean Murphy. I'm president and principal broker of Keauhou Kona Realty, Inc. I've had the privilege of actively participating in the planning, the marketing and sales of many fine quality developments here in Keauhou Kona. Situated in prestigious Keauhou estates and built across 2 lots, Haliloa is everything imaginable in a dream home. This 5-bedroom, marble-floored home captures expansive ocean and golf course views. Its creative swimming pool, flowing through the entire home, is complemented by waterfalls amidst lushly tropical landscaping. Enjoy the tennis court, cabana, jacuzzi, bar, and barbecue area, which make Haliloa ideal for fine quality living. Please call me to learn more about the pleasures of living in Keauhou.
Get away for the day at beautiful Keauhou Shopping Village with over 40 stores to choose from like these. Possible Dreams, Kona's best gift shop. Hawaii Floral Express, helping you to share the beauty of Hawaii.
Keauhou Shopping Village, so much to see and do.
Viva Skim, the non-fat milk with full-bodied flavor.
We are back. Time now for this week's Keauhou book cover lucky numbers. This is the final week of the contest, but there's still time for you to stop into the Keauhou Shopping Village, pick up a book cover, absolutely free of charge. On it could be your lucky winning number. So here are this week's winning numbers for the Keauhou book cover contest. First up, 5271. You just won yourself a child's haircut at Inspiration. 6100, a Scrimshaw keychain from Alpaques. 7000, a child's beach towel from Accent on Bed and Bath. 5002, a $25 gift certificate, good at Garrison's Footwear. 5110, a large pepperoni pizza from Rocky's Pizza in Delhi. 6543, a beach cap from Circus Shoppas. 6927, a $40 Barbie doll from Possible Dreams. 5182, a rad color sun visor from Tropical Storm. 5777, free processing of double prints at Moto Photo. 5869, a KT's t-shirt. And finally, 6143, a large pepperoni pizza, good at Rocky's Pizza in Delhi. Again, this is the final week of the contest, but there's still time for you to stop into the Keauhou Shopping Village, pick up a book cover, and you could be a winner. Good luck to you. Right now, we continue with this week's Ironman Triathlete Profile.
If you're a triathlete, then the Ironman is probably the main event that you aim for. Held every year in Kona, it attracts athletes from all over the world, including our own backyard. This year, the Big Island is proud to have 28 entered in the upcoming Ironman, and Channel 6 will feature 2 per week. This week's competitors are Teresa Villa and Dick Wynn. First, let's meet Teresa. You might recognize her from her participation in the local P-Man biathlons. She's always been a leading P, but now it's time to roll out of that pod and into the big leagues. The Ironman has always been her dream to pursue, and now it's a dream come true.
I want to do the Ironman just as an opportunity to prove to myself that I can go out there on a starting line with professional athletes from around the world, and be one of them. At 9 years of age, in a small farming town in South Dakota, I wanted to be in the Olympics, and for me, this really is a dream come true.
At age 9, she was involved in competitive swimming and has done well ever since. The Ironman has always been in Teresa's focus, but not having the time, health, or money has prevented her from entering in the previous 5 years. This year, all elements have come together. Her and her husband's cabinet-making business has paid off, enabling her to free up some time. Her health is good, although she is coming off a summer illness, which has cut into her training.
My training time is definitely less than 15 hours in the week. I think a lot of people that you'll be talking to about Ironman training will have a completely different story to tell. I'm a minimalist.
Teresa has certainly reached a high goal just in qualifying for such an event. As for her goals on race day,
I really do expect to finish. That sincerely is my only goal for the day. When I go out that day, I'll see how I'm feeling. I may feel great and just blow a lot of people away. I might surprise myself, but I don't want to surprise myself in not being able to finish.
we're sure you'll make it, Teresa. Just watch that speed limit, would you? Next, we catch up with Ironman Dick Wynn. This will be his third consecutive appearance at the triathlon. He decided to take up training only 6 years ago at the age of 50. And what inspired him?
My wife started running about 8 years ago, and I saw a change in her. Physically, I started, getting hard body and looking better and better and younger, and I thought, wow, there really is something to this. And so I started running.
And then he caught iron fever. In Dick's rookie season, he finished the course in 12 hours and 51 minutes. Not bad for someone over 50. Now, 3 years later, what keeps bringing him back?
I think that exhilaration, that thrill of doing it, it continues to be a challenge that takes a tremendous amount of work. But once you do it, you feel like, wow, I can do anything. And I think it's given me an outlook on life of I can do anything I set out to do.
He owes his success to hard training, finding time outside of his full-time job as resort manager for the Waikoloa Land Company. Dick manages to swim 4 miles, run 35, and bike 200 miles every week.
That isn't much compared to a lot of people, but it gets me there. I've already conceded the race to Mark Allen or whoever, so gets me across the finish line.
Upon completion of this race, Mr. Wynn will have 3 Ironmans under his belt. That's a hat trick for Dick. Does that mean it's time to hang up the helmet?
I would like to continue to do triathlons as long as I can walk. I'm not sure that I will continue to do this race. It's such a commitment to time. For every hour spent in the water or on the bicycle or running, there seems to be another hour of repairing the equipment or getting ready, warming up, cooling down. It's a full-time job. And I think I'll give my wife a break.
So see Dick run, see Dick bike. We'll see Dick win at the 1991 Gatorade Ironman Triathlon.
Get away for the day in beautiful Keauhou Shopping Village with over 40 stores to choose from, like these. Alapakis. Remember the islands with authentic Hawaiian gifts. Drysdale's 2 Restaurant, where sports fans gather for cocktails and great food. Keauhou Shopping Village. So much to see and do.
Aloha mai. We welcome you to our Keauhou Beach Hotel. Anytime is happy time. For our kama'ainas and visitors, the food is always ono at our Kuakini Terrace. Succulent seafood every weekend. Our sumptuous Sunday brunch, all you can eat. Chinese favorites in the middle of the week. So ono. For the celebrations of your life. E como mai. To the Keauhou Beach Hotel. The true spirit of aloha exists.
We all work hard in life, so you've earned and deserved the Big Island's most luxurious resort and residential area. This is Keauhou, a glamorous world within itself, with hotels, condominiums, 8 restaurants, 30 tennis courts, a championship golf course, plus a shopping village with over 40 merchants. Life is at its finest. The excitement doesn't stop here. Keauhou also offers the ultimate scuba diving, snorkeling, deep-sea fishing, and breathtaking sunset cruises. Keauhou, a world within itself waiting for you.
Here's a look at some of West Hawaii's upcoming events. Captain Zodiac presents the 2nd annual Inflatable Boat Fishing Tournament. Sunday, September 15th, a benefit for the Coast Guard Auxiliary. Start fishing at 8 a.m., stop fishing 3 p.m. down at Gentry's Marina. The Department of Parks and Recreations will be holding a women's slow pitch organizational meeting Thursday, September 19th at 7 p.m. down at the Old Airport. The 4-H Youth Program, along with the Aloha Children's Theater, presents Liars, Thursday, September 19th, 11:30 a.m. down at the Hotel King Kamehameha and 7:30 p.m. at the Aloha Theater. Big Island for Jesus, a musical day of food, fun, and fellowship will be held down at Halehalavai Saturday the 21st, beginning at 10 a.m. The Kona Adult Day Center is celebrating National Adult Day Care Center Week with an open house on Friday, September 20th, beginning at 12 noon. And the P-Man International Biathlon is coming up Sunday the 22nd down at the pier. Kicks off at 8 a.m. with a 3/4 mile swim, followed by a 4-mile run. If you want to post your event on our billboard, give us all the details 3 weeks in advance. So send it into Box 715, Kealakekua.
That'll do it for this edition of Keauhou's Weekly Highlights. Hope you enjoyed the show. Here again is this week's lucky winning numbers. If you have a lucky winning book cover, stop into Outdoor Fun to redeem your prize. This is the final week of the contest, so you still have time, a few days left, to stop into the Keauhou Shopping Village and pick up a book cover, and good luck to you. I'm Lyman Medeiros. Hope to see you next Wednesday night when we bring you another round of Keauhou's Weekly Highlights. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week. Good night.
Keauhou's Weekly Highlights was brought to you by the Crown Lands of Keauhou, the Keauhou Shopping Village, Keauhou Kona Realty, and the Keauhou Beach Hotel.
Teach me how to